Hey everyone, Matt here from Dr. Running, and today we're going to do a 100-mile review of the Adidas Adizero Adios Pro 4. So this is Adidas's newest super racing shoe, at least as of the time of the release of this video. It's the fourth iteration of their super racing shoe that's actually been fairly good. Last version I did a comparison review that I really enjoyed. Version 3 is kind of a more versatile shoe that wasn't maybe as aggressive as some of the other options, but still could move, and I think was a really good shoe for a lot of people out there. This moved in a different direction, where it's now very aggressive. I think a lot of fast runners are going to really enjoy this shoe. If you're maybe not as fast, that you're going to have to really pay attention to go, is this really a shoe for you? Because it is way more aggressive in so many different ways. And we'll talk about how that is, and also how that has changed over 100 miles. Because most reviewers typically review shoes after about 20, 30 miles. I think I had about 40 miles when I reviewed mine. But I want to also update you on durability, how's the ride change, has the fit change, and give you an idea of what this shoe really evolves into as you put more miles, so you get to know what, if anything, you're getting your money's worth on. So let's start with specs first, as always. Men's size 9 is coming in at 7.1 ounces or 201 grams. Women's size 8 is coming in at 6.4 ounces or about 184, 181 grams. The stack height is 39 millimeters in the heel, 33 in the forefoot for a 6 millimeter drop. Still pretty high. I might be off by half a millimeter, some varied sources out there, but it's still pretty tall and pushing that World Athletics limit right there. The midsole is a brand new mix of Lightstrike Pro, although it's not specifically said or stated that anywhere online. It is definitely newer. It is much softer, and when I was first running it, it was way more resilient and bouncy than previous versions. When I put this on, I was absolutely blown away, and I really enjoyed the fact that I could actually now get into those 5K, 10K paces I couldn't get into with version 3. Now, that has changed a little bit, and we'll talk about that. But the other thing that was great is that bounciness really lasted over longer miles. So I have done most of my long runs in this shoe, for better or for worse, and really enjoyed up-tempo long runs in this shoe. I did a 10K time trial in this shoe with the stroller and ran a low 37-minute. I wish I could say I've done a race in these. I haven't yet, because my sinuses have been so bad anytime I get into race paces. I've been having some significant difficulties. In fact, I'm probably going to go to urgent care after this based on some of the things that I'm having. But anyway, the bounciness is awesome. It is way more aggressive, and for the first time in this series' life, it does feel like it's on par with a lot of other shoes out there on the market. Now, that said, that did change over time. The softness and the compliance of the midsole has definitely stuck around. It is very comfortable underfoot. If you want good cushioning underfoot, it has definitely got this, and that's kind of one of the reasons I've enjoyed this for longer efforts. I haven't gone past 14 miles because my wife and I aren't really focusing on super long distance races, so we're kind of keeping things more manageable, which also when you're pushing a stroller, it's really hard. But that resilience has dropped off as the miles have gotten further. So I would say that like this really snappy feel that I felt like I could do 5K, 10K efforts in kind of disappeared around 50 to 60 miles. And now it feels a lot better doing tempo runs, longer efforts, and that snappiness kind of went away and has left that softer feel. So if you like that really sharp, faster feel that you might get with certain shoes, that doesn't last. But if you're looking for a shoe that, hey, you can do marathon efforts in, you can do longer efforts, you can do tempos, you can do 10K up, this is probably going to be a really good option for you. And it's also incredibly durable. I'm going to get to durability early, because this is what I want to gush about, is that I have 102 miles on this. This is my left shoe, and I have not worn through the outsole at all. Like, this is barely worn at all. This is insane. This might be the most durable outsole I've ever experienced on a super shoe. Every single one previously I've gotten some wear through, this one no. So if you want outsole durability and it can handle someone like me, this is absolutely awesome. You're gonna get your money's worth and miles worth out of this. You just might not get the super snappy 5K faster effort miles out of it. And if you're wanting this, it's gonna get a lot softer as you go on, and it's gonna start to relax a little bit fairly early on, which a lot of super shoes do. So that may not be that different. So it is very nice and snappy. This early toe off here does roll very quickly. So people that tend to land farther forward are probably gonna like this a little bit more. People that land farther backward, it is fine. The only problem is, I'm going to jump into stability. I said I was going to be organized, but guess not. This is fine, right? But the problem is the heel and midfoot are much more narrow, and the softer foam really makes the back feel very wobbly when you land. I felt a lot better when I get up on the front of the shoe, because there's a lot of sole flare. And as I mentioned, just kind of the design of this shoe, there's a little bit of lateral bias, meaning it's going to push you that way a little bit, especially with how I'm landing. But that heel midfoot is definitely a little wobbly. So if you have stability needs, unless you're a forefoot striker, this is not going to be the shoe for you. And it's caused me to fatigue after that 13, 14 mile mark, which is also why one of the reasons I don't take it longer on the fact that we're not going farther than that right now. But people that land farther forward are going to do better. People that land farther back, you got to make sure you have stable neutral mechanics, and then you're going to actually want that softer ride. That has definitely increased as I've gotten the miles on this shoe, and this shoe has softened. When I first ran in it, it wasn't nearly as wobbly in the rear foot, and it's definitely gotten more wobbly as things have gone on, but the forefoot has still stayed really good. So forefoot strikers, you're going to absolutely love this shoe. When it comes to fit, we really got to talk about this, and you need to be very careful with how you choose the fit and what size you choose, because this shoe has not loosened up after 100 miles. I did mention the shoe fits about maybe a quarter to a half size short. That hasn't changed. I have a massive bruise on my toe from this shoe from repeated long runs in it. So I'm not sure if it's exactly, it fits. You know what? I'm just going to say it fits short, okay? This little piece right here in the toe guard really puts a lot of pressure there, and I do think if you want to run half to full marathon distances, you should get a half size up. I'm normally a size 10. I got a size 10. It fits slightly short. If I was going to actually use this for longer races, I would get 10 and a half. So David also has a pair of size 10 of these, so we're going to actually get a better review in terms of how that half size up feels from him later. But right now, if you want to do longer distances, you're going to need a half size up. If you want to do shorter stuff, 5K, 10K, you can go with your normal size. It's actually really good. The upper does fit really snug. There is just enough room in the forefoot, and the midfoot heel get fairly secure and fairly locked in. There isn't really a heel counter here, which is awesome for people like myself who don't do well with stiff heel counters. So if you're someone with a Haglund deformity or a sensitive heel, this shoe actually does really awesome and still stays very, very secure. I don't know what the purpose of this is. If somebody in the comments can tell me this, I mean, it's interesting when it says this too shall pass, but I'm not really sure what that's for. I haven't used it, so I can't comment on it. Somebody else could probably comment on that. But upper seems to be great. I haven't had to lace lock this. I haven't had to secure it too much. I did try to lace lock it to see if I could change the toe pressure here. It didn't, so you do need to consider a half size up for longer distances. But outside of that, lighter upper, fits a little short. Really, really nice. Part of the major thing that makes this shoe disappear on your foot and feels really great. Even pushing a stroller, it's been really fun to get some miles on this. And I think durability and initial bounciness and softness are the biggest draws for this shoe. Yes, it's 250 bucks. Yes, version 3 is probably going to be on sale and cheaper. So if you maybe want something a little bit more versatile for a variety of paces, version 3 is probably going to be better. But if you want something that's going to hang on for a while, like version 3 was decent. I managed to get it to 100 miles, but just barely. This has tons more miles on it at 100 miles. So you're getting a good deal at 250 with the bounciness, the fit, the new, now lighter ride, the awesome durability. There's not a lot of super shoes like this out there that can handle that many miles. Just know the midsole is going to change quite a bit and soften up a lot. And that's something you want. Hey, maybe this shoe might be a good option for you. So hope that helps. As always, I'm going to keep trying to do 100-mile reviews as I'm able to, because I want you to know, hey, not just in the initial 40 or so miles, what's the shoe feel like, but also to give you an idea of what it may feel like later, so you can continue to help make better decisions about what you're purchasing and what you're putting on your feet. As always, if you have any different opinions, please put them in the comments below. I don't just do this videos for attention. I do it because I'm hoping it helps people. And if you have a different opinion, or is there something you want to add, please put it below, because I want to help people help make those decisions like I talked about earlier. As always, we've got plenty of stuff coming out, plenty of different socials you can follow us. And as always, I really hope this helps.